Hey guys, this is Dark Magic Ian from Team Time Riders, but this deck profile is not from me, it's from the one, the only.
Mermail Master.
I'll let you take the intro from here, my good friend.
All right, guys. So thanks so much to Dark Magic Ian and his pretty much almost debut behind the camera. Really great to.
I did
to
a
have
tree
him
mid deck profile with little Jake, and that was super cringe. I still go back on that, and I instantly regret it. But I'll get there. I'll get there, Mermail Master. I'll get there. Don't worry.
You will. Don't worry. I believe in you. But anyway, guys, today, by popular demand, I am bringing you guys my updated Neo-Spacian deck profile / Elemental Hero deck profile. With Savage Strike just around the corner, I've decided to start playing some of the more crazy kind of cards that the deck has run. So I do have like a couple of proxies in here, but we recently uploaded a duel for that. So before that, I'd like to give a couple of shout-outs to some supporters of the channel. The first shout-out I want to give is to the one and only Pedro Ricardo. Thank you so much for your support, man. We see you on every single videos. You're always commenting, and to all of on all of our profiles, you always have really something nice to say. So thanks so much for continuing to support us, man. We just wanted to give you a shout out. Yep. The next shout out I want to give, of course, is to the one and only Dark Magic Ian for being behind the camera. And the final shout out I want to give is to Mr. Showstopper. We've had a lot of really interesting discussions, and you were the one who actually wanted to ask me about this deck profile to see, sort of what I was running and what my thought processes were. So big shout out to you, man. This profile is for all of you guys, so I really hope you enjoy it. All right, so getting into things, I did say there were a couple of proxies, but I'm going to explain some of my choices here.
So take your time on the camera. I'm not in really much of a hurry.
All right, perfect. So we're going to start up right now. Will not be a Neo-Spacian deck without 2 copies of Elemental Hero Neos. Elemental Hero Neos is the main kind of card in the deck, and he's who you need. I'm running 2 right now, but lately I've been thinking that I really want to bump this number up to 3, just with the way everything is going with the deck right now. But he's your main guy.
Those are some fresh-looking secret rares you got there.
Yep. Just picked I have my 3rd secret rare ready to go. Next, of course, we've got 2 copies of Honesty Neos. Game-ending card right here. Very, very good. And finally, we have 2 copies of Elemental Hero Prisma. A lot of people are considering taking this card out once the new support comes in. I'm not really sure what I want to do yet with it. It is still very good at getting the Neoses to the graveyard and doesn't really get affected by Ash, since I believe it sends for cost. But I could be wrong on that. So now, getting into the Neo-Spacians, this is where we had the most change, guys, because I've updated some of the numbers on the Neo-Spacians. So starting off first is 2 copies of Neo-Spacian Aqua Dolphin. Aqua Dolphin has fast become one of the best Neo-Spacians. I never thought I would say this, guys, but with the new support and with all the other decks that can utilize him, the ability to rip cards out of your opponent's hand is incredible. In the duel against Dark Magic Ian, I won because I was able to rip a Medraw off of his hand before his first turn. This card, unlike its Neo-Spacian or its Elemental Hero Fusion monster, allows you to take a look at your opponent's hand. So you can see your opponent's hand and then choose the monster you want to rip out. So it's not just, a bad effect. And the discard can also be very good for getting Neoses or other useless cards in your hand to the graveyard, where they can be more useful. So definitely I feel like 2 is a nice number right now. I used to run each Neo-Spacian in here at 1. The other Neo-Spacian, guys, that I'm running in here at 2 is 2 copies of Neo-Spacian Dark Panther. Dark Panther is another great card. He's basically a card that allows you to copy the effect of your opponent's monster. And the Neos monster he summons allows you to negate effects. But he's really good because he combines together for 2 very important monsters in your extra deck, Dark Neos and Nebula Neos, as well as the eponymous Chaos Neos. So really, really good to have him in here. Next card we're having is Air Hummingbird. You know him, you love him. The main guy behind the Air Hummingbird OTK. Lately, I've found that it's good to get into the other Neos monsters. So I don't use Air Neos as much, so Hummingbird's still in here at 1. Maybe if I get a second ulti, who knows? We'll see. He's good for gaining life points. Glow Moss, my personal favorite Neo-Spacian. A lot of people don't think so, but when you're running against an unaware opponent, this card, yes, it will get him a draw, but against an unaware opponent, it will wall them like crazy, because if your opponent's forced to attack in, they draw a card, reveal that it's a monster, battle phase ends right then and there. This card has saved my butt.
I actually got sacked by this one time.
More times I can count, yeah. More times than I can count, this card has saved my butt.
I got a monster off of it twice.
Yeah. And it was me, like, I don't know if I won or lost that duel, but I was still able to play thanks to Glow Moss, which is something I can't say for almost any of the other Neo-Spacians. So Glow Moss gets a special shout out from me. Flare Scarab, arguably I would say the worst one. I think he's the worst one, but he's still a very good card. But his fusion that he makes is very, very good. So I do like Flare Scarab, but would like to get an ulti. Don't have one right now, but hopefully that'll change in the future. And then the final Neo-Spacian, guys, is Grand Mole. Grand Mole he needs no introduction. He's one of the best ones in the game.
He looks pretty good when he gets bounced by Custonin.
Huh. Yeah, that was some crazy plays right there. But Grand Mole does not target and will bounce things back.
It's a very, very good card, guys.
Surprisingly good, and is very good just on his own as well. So that's it for the Neo-Spacians, a larger number than I had before. Now moving on to the rest of the cards in the deck. We've got Cross Porter in here. I'm not sure if he's going to stay in once the new support comes. Good under Ice Soul, good under other things. Basically, you can tribute him on the field or any other monster to special summon a Neo-Spacian from your hand. And then when Cross Porter is tributed, he now does not miss timing and allows you to search any Neo-Spacian from your deck to your hand. So it can be a good card under the right circumstances. One Neo-Space Pathfinder. I believe this is definitely going to come out for another Neo-Space. This deck, as I will mention, guys, I'm trying to make it good under Master Rule 3, because this is a Jaden kind of deck. You know, we've always wanted a Neo-Spacian deck that actually works as intended, and now that we finally have cards that allow us to do that, I feel like this card can sometimes brick if you already get your Neo-Space. So better to have Neo-Space at 2, I think. Next we have Elemental Hero Shadow Mist, good card as well. Thought about adding him in under... adding in a Blaze Man as well. And finally, Thunder King Ryo. I can't remember. This might actually have been a card that Jaden played, but I know it came out in the GX manga. So that's going to do it for the monsters. Hopefully that wasn't too long for minute count. I think it probably was like 8 minutes or something, right?
7 minutes.
7 minutes. Moving on to these spells. So this is my first proxy. This is going to be Neo's Fusion, even though it is Miracle Fusion. Neo's Fusion is one of the 2 new cards, and I think arguably the best one that they got. This card basically allows you to send a Neos monster or any Elemental Hero Neos plus, like, you know, the fusion materials on a fusion monster that list Elemental Hero Neos as a fusion material from your hand, field, or deck to the graveyard.
So it's like a Shadal Fusion.
Basically. And special summon that monster, but it doesn't require an extra deck monster to do it. And then when it's in the graveyard, you get to banish it to prevent Neos monster from leaving the field, whether by battle, card destruction, or by going back to the extra deck. Super, super, super good card. Incredible, even. And
before it's a secret rare.
Before it's a secret rare, probably not going to be. Hopefully not going to be. Not a card I don't think a lot of people are looking for, but and do remember you can't summon like 3 Neos fusions off of it, so you can only do 2 ones, but on the plus side, you can summon Rainbow Neos.
Yes, you can.
Which is a fact that a lot of people have taken advantage of. Next card I'm running is one that I almost never draw. Miracle Contact. I was thinking about downgrading myself to the Ultras just so that I could see if I could draw him more often.
Have you ever thought of playing Left Arm Offering to get this card?
Oh my goodness. I require my hand too much, and if Left Arm Offering got a little bit cheaper, I definitely would probably consider it. Miracle Contact, excellent card. Really, really awesome card for shuffling back things from your hand. So this basically Neos Fusion sends him to the grave. This one gets them back into the deck, and so your Neos and Neo-Spacian monsters will be going all sorts.
It's like a recycly boy.
Pretty much a recycly boy. Very good card. Next card we have is Convert Contact.
That's the best Neo-Spacian card.
Yeah, send from your hand to the grave and your deck to the grave a Neo-Spacian, 2 Neo-Spacians, and then draw 2 cards. Very, very good card. I up the Neo-Spacian counts because for whatever reason I always seem to draw these like crazy, and I never draw these boys. Very funny, but not as funny when you're me. Next cards we've got, guys, 2 E-Calls, search your Neoses, search your Prismas, search your Shadow Mists, search your Honesties. Pretty self-explanatory. Gotta have them in here. After that, we're going to be running 2 Contact Out. This is actually very good, an OTK enabler. If the fusion material monsters are in your deck, you special summon them after you have a Neos Fusion on the field that you bounce back. Better than Defusion. Very, very good card. I still run it at 2. Some people have cut it down. Still don't know what's good with that, but we'll see. Then I've got 1 copy of Wrath of Neos, shuffle back a Neos, destroy all cards on the field. Very good card.
Is that a bumping that up to 2, maybe?
Probably not. I'm actually thinking about taking this out because a lot of times I've been going into my Neos Fusions and not really having E-Hero Neos itself on the field too often. But I still want to do some stuff when the new...
it's like for like swag points.
Yeah. Swag points. Hero lives.
Rest in peace, Ulti Boy.
R.I.P. Ulti Boy. Good card. Not much more to say about that.
We lost 2 Hero lives and gained a Stratos.
Pretty much. And I don't even run Stratos in this deck, as you guys can see. So it doesn't even...
It's a Neo-Spacians deck. It doesn't really work in this deck.
Exactly. You barely run main deck Elemental Heroes as it is, so...
Speaking of Neo-Spacians, this card is very nice art, very pretty artwork on this card.
Need an ulti, which is even prettier. Very good card. Still first edition. Oversoul. Reborn the Neos.
Have you actually thought of considering bumping Oversoul too?
Possibly.
If you get like three Neos, maybe play 2 of it.
Exactly. I'm definitely thinking about upping the Neos count in here to 3.
What is this in here for?
Hero Mask is really good because you can make anything treated as an elemental hero monster. I might also take this card out since with the new stuff, it's easier to get things out of it.
My personal opinion...
You can also send Shadow Mist to the grave with this.
My personal opinion with your deck is if you play the 3rd Neos, cut this for a second Oversoul.
I might, yeah. So
it's up to you.
Yeah,
it's up to you.
I'm doing this deck profile for the guys I shouted out. So this is just like a work in progress, as you know. Things are changing.
I wish this card was back at 3, Rhoda.
Yeah, can't come back to 3. There's too many powerful warriors in the game.
Like Armageddon Knight.
Oh, true.
Which
very, very
should
true.
be fucking
Imagine
banned.
that. And now, for the second proxy we have, 3 Royal Decree is actually 3 NEXT, which is the...
What does NEXT do?
So NEXT is a fantastic...
Like the ones for the guys that don't know it.
For the guys that don't know what NEXT does, it's a fantastic trap card that basically allows you to destroy a... or to activate this card to special summon any Elemental Hero Neos, plus any Neo-Spacian monsters, as many Neo-Spacians as you want from your hand or graveyard. So 1 Neos and then any Neo-Spacians you want. And you can set this card on the field, activate it during your opponent's turn to block an attack, or even better, activate it during your turn to get a big Neos boy on the field. Even better, what this card does is if you control
and before this cards, is a secret rare too.
If you control no cards, you can activate it from your hand.
And before that card's a secret rare because all the quote unquote the actual legit true hand traps are all secret rares, evenly matched, very fucking true. Permanents. I need impermanences.
Yeah, except for Red Reboot, who is not a secret rare.
Thank God. That card would be fucking expensive if it was a secret.
It truly would. And then finally, Hope for Escape.
Oh, what is this in here for?
So I put Hope for Escape in as kind of like a in my old Neos deck, as you guys have seen it. And lately, as I've been like switching up cards, I just really haven't had the heart to take it out yet. It's come in so useful. Basically, just allows me to draw cards when I'm inevitably in a massive pinch with Neos, and works really well with a Hero Lives and some other stuff in this deck. And sometimes the cards that you draw could save your existence. So, really, really good.
Kind of like what I did with that red layer with the...
Exactly. So that's going to be it for the main deck. How many minutes are we at right now?
We're at 13.
13 minutes. That's kind of sad. I sometimes like to ramble a bit too often, guys. But anyway, moving on to the extra deck right now.
Maybe when the new stuff comes out, you can go like more in depth with like your updated Neos deck. Exactly. This is sort of like a work in progress. This is like a special video for the guys who shouted out.
Exactly. So starting off, guys, I want to show you what I have so far for my extra deck, and this was before, of course, all of the new cards. So first starting out, guys, we've got to have Air Neos in here. Is
that an Ulti First Ed?
Ulti First Ed Air Neos. Air Neos' special ability...
Look at that beautiful card, guys.
Air Neos' special ability is that he gets to...
Sorry if I'm touching all your cards, man.
Oh, don't worry about it. I double sleeve these, so you can touch them all you want. That sounded weird, but... so Air Neos basically allows you to, when you have lower life points than your opponent, have him gain attack power equal to the difference in damage, in life points between you and your opponent.
I actually just realized something.
What?
If you open with a Hero Lives and you go into this guy, he becomes like 7,000.
He becomes 6,500, and then if you ditch Honesty Neos, he becomes 9,000. So I've actually gamed people before by
Have you ever considered maybe playing a copy of Gift Card to make him really big?
Probably not, because it doesn't come up as often as you might think. Like, basically every single thing in here is like, I don't have anything that randomly supports the fusion. It's got to support the main deck, because the goal is get out the fusions, but acknowledging that it's not always going to work out. You're going to get stopped. Someone's going to flip an anti-spell on you. And
or like you're going to get Ashed, and you're just going to be like, oh, fuck.
Exactly. Like I've gotten Ashed, and I got Morgan. So that kind of
yeah, Morgan's a pretty good card, I heard.
Next card, one of my new favorites, of course, guys. Elemental Hero Aqua Neos.
Actually, a fun fact about this card, guys, is this is actually a authentic copy of it. I think you
Yes,
said?
it is, and I paid extra to go get an authentic copy. The one thing, and
For
you
the guys
guys
who
can
don't know
watch my
about
video
the story.
about the other one, but I will say that these
This card's actually got quite a story behind it.
I really like the Neo-Spacians now because they like the new cards make them
playable.
worth it to summon. They make it playable to summon. Like,
it's like,
before
I
you could
don't
just
want
summon.
to shuffle these back into.
Spend 4 cards in your hand to summon one of these guys out, and it shuffles back itself to the end phase.
Well, like now you can just make one of these like 1 or 2
activate
cards.
one Neos Fusion.
One Neos Fusion is like a mass foolish burial, and
then it's like it actually makes sense because now you have a card to discard from your hand. You can discard one from your opponent's hand. Really, really good. So each one of these is now, it's not like a great card, but each one of them has really good effects now because it doesn't take your entire hand just to summon it, which is really good. It's like it's commensurate with the amount that you spend to get it out on the field, which I think is so.
Basically, you break even rather than break even yourself.
You break even. This card, one of my new favorites as well.
This thing looks badass.
Neos gains 400 attack for every single spell or trap that both you and your opponent control.
Well, that'd be really good against my deck.
Exactly. Under Neo-Space, this thing goes up by 900 to 34. This can beat over quite a lot of stuff, and I've used it to beat over like Blue Eyes Chaos Max and other things like that. Very good. Grand Neos, simple, easy, targeting bounce of one opponent's monster per turn. Very, very good card, and definitely something.
You keep that thing on the board. You keep that thing on the board with Neos Fusion. You can just bounce stuff once per turn.
Exactly. Next card we've gotten here is Glow Neos. I really do like Glow Neos as well.
This is the one you make with Glow Moss, right?
Yeah, that's the one you make with Glow Moss, and he has a similar effect where you can basically get different effects depending on what you destroy. So I think like Trap, it's like you switch into defense mode. Spell, you can attack directly, and then Monster, this card sort of ends the battle phase. So instead of doing the draw effect of Glow Moss, it destroys instead. Next cards we're running, guys. 2 of my favorites again.
I think you just recently picked these up at a Black Friday sale, right?
Did. Black Friday sale. These guys are going for like $150 a piece. I picked them up for a lot less than that, guys. But
these are English copies.
These are English copies. I used to have an Italian, as you guys saw before. Dark Neos is just very excellent for negating things that your opponent controls. So it's excellent for just stopping them things. And then the funniest application, I think, of Dark Neos is that it can even negate itself, so it doesn't have to go back to the extra deck in the end phase. So when everything gets down to it, I think the real reason that I'm running the Dark Panthers that I want to tell you guys is simply because it allows your body to stay on board when everything else would just shuffle itself back.
Before the new support came out, I think he was probably the best one since he could do that. Kind
of, yeah. I think a lot of people would say Air Neos is because you OTK before you get shuffled back, but I do like Dark Neos quite a lot. Then we have Neos Knight for
one of my favorite ultis in this entire game.
For doing all of those crazy plays with attacking into your opponent's stuff.
I think I actually have a Neos Knight on Duel Links.
This is a good card. And now getting into the triple contact fusions. Elemental Hero Storm Neos.
Oh, this is Big Stormy Boy.
Basically, Big Stormy Boy, Heavy Storm for the field, and then when these guys have effects when they shuffle back, they get to.
If you don't mind me asking, Mermail Master, why do these cards look so badass?
Why does everything in this deck look so badass?
Because it's all like it's all the swagger.
So awesome swagger stuff for all of these cards.
Please remind me to never say that again.
Yeah, go for it. Never say it again.
Thank you.
But yeah, so when this card shuffles back, I think a lot of people consider him the best because when he shuffles back, everything on the field gets shuffled into the deck.
That's so good.
Next card we have is probably my personal favorite of all 3. The one that I pulled.
This is a first ed secret rare, if you guys can see that.
This is still the one that I pulled, and it makes me so happy that in 2018 I get to play this card on a regular basis. Magma Neos gains 400 attack for every single card on the field, so, including himself. So if you got him and 3 other cards on the field, he just goes up to 4,600, which is insane. And I've had him go up to like 7,000 before.
He becomes a thick boy.
He becomes very good. And then when he shuffles back, sends all cards to hand. Next card we have, guys, is the brand new one, Nebula Neos, the last one that I needed to pick up, ironically. I missed the sort of printing of this. This guy is probably the best of the triple contact fusions. When he comes to the field, You get to draw a number of cards equal to the number of cards your opponent controls, face up or face down. No like card difference between X.
So like if you're like Altergeist, you can draw like 5 cards.
If I summon this against Dark Magic Ian and he had an Artorigus on the field with
you draw like
4 equips,
you draw like 6 cards.
I draw like 6 cards from a deck. And you can keep looping him and getting him out, and then you get to negate a card.
And then when he gets shuffled into the
end phase,
and then when he gets shuffled into the deck, he's basically evenly matched.
Pretty much banishes everything. Next, last couple of cards we have, of course, one copy of Elemental Hero Chaos Neos. Chaos Neos is fantastic for getting rid of.
This is the one you called Eponymous, right?
Yeah, this one right here is kind of like a fun card. Like summon Chaos Neos if you want to have a good time, not if you want to win the duel.
It's basically like
he's got that glow moss effect, and it does have a chance to backfire. But I have gotten this effect before often. It's very cool.
He's the one you summon for swag points.
Yeah, and then when he goes back to the extra deck, you flip everything on the field face down. Last card, of course, guys. We have to have this. I still don't have Rainbow Dragon in the deck, but I decided to put him in anyway. Rainbow Neos. Because you can summon him off of
the strongest warrior monster in the game, aside from Flower Card, you have 5 lights, but who the fuck cares? As far as I know, that card doesn't exist.
Very, very good card, even for the GX era. Incredible, incredible card. And
like as you guys already know, I think he said something about this in his pack opening video. His favorite era of Yu-Gi-Oh is GX.
Yeah, I love the GX era. I think like it was one of the only eras that I really didn't play, so I'm kind of like getting caught up on it. There's a lot of just such cool cards.
I've actually been hearing like stories about the GX era, and it sounded fucking awesome.
All of this stuff, like it's cool stuff, and it was back when ultis and like card design was less kind of interesting, or like it was less. They were freer with card design back
when like deck building wasn't like, oh, can my deck extra link?
Exactly. And so, them like paying more attention to fusions. And now in this day and age in 2018 with Konami releasing all this brand new support to make GX, like unplayable GX archetypes playable, I'm right here in this game. And as long as Konami keeps doing that, I ain't going anywhere. So guys, thanks so much for watching this video. I really appreciate you staying for this long if you did. I hope you learned something or got something out of this deck profile. I really try and make these somewhat informative, but as I mentioned, guys, this is a work in progress, of course.
There's going to be a more in-depth one coming soon to the channel when the new shit actually comes out.
Yeah, when the new stuff comes out, like I've got a lot of changes that I want to make. But
YouTube, please don't demonetize us for the cursing.
I want to make a lot of changes to the deck. I want to do some new and interesting kind of strategies for it. But I feel like
they could be like doing like what I'm doing with the Noble Knights. You're gonna play around with the new support as it comes out, see how like ratios work and stuff.
And as you guys know, I want to build this deck as kind of a deck that works very well under Master Rule 3, not necessarily under 4. But we got the Isolde chilling over somewhere just in case we should decide that we should, wherever it is. Anyway, guys,
I don't know where it is.
Thanks so much for watching the video. Once again, shout outs to Dark Magic Ian for being behind the camera, to Showstopper for having me record this deck, and for Pedro Ricardo for your constant support. Guys, thank you so much, and thank you so much to everyone who views these videos. Without your support,
Team Time Riders wouldn't be a thing.
Team Time Riders wouldn't be a thing. So once again, this is the Mermail Master and
Dark Magic Ian behind the camera this time.
We're signing out, guys. Catch you next time. Peace.